This is covering the homework solution for Chapter 3 and 4, Part 2, Test Review. This is only be covering the parallel part, so this is number 8 through 11. Number 8 through 11 gives us the instructions to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the graph for each equation. Okay, remember, it's basically writing an equation that is parallel to another equation. So, number 8, it gives us this point and this equation. First of all, I have to find the slope. The slope here is 1. There's really a 1 here. So the slope here is 1. The new equation, writing an equation, m parallel is also equal to 1. Because remember, for parallel lines, m1 is equal to m. Remember, this is true for parallel lines, okay? This is the definition of the parallel lines, right? The slopes are the same, okay? So, like before, let's label my information. X1 equals to 2, Y1 equals to 5, and my slope, which is parallel to this equation, is going to be 1. And that's the hardest part. After this, you can just plug it in and work it through. Here's the point slope equation. Make that substitution. Y1 is 5, M is 1, X1 here is 2. Okay? Distribute that in. 1 times x is 1x, 1 times 2 is negative 2, plus 5 to both sides, then you simplify. Y equals to 1x plus 3. Notice that this equation is parallel to this equation. That is true because look at its slopes. The slopes are the same. Good? Good. Next one, let's look at 9. 9 gives us this point, 0, 3. Y equals to 3x plus 5. Like I said before, parallel lines, the slope here has to be equal to the new slope. So let's do that. The slope here is 3, so the new slope, which is parallel to that, is also equal to 3. This notation with the 2 bars is the parallel symbol. So original slope is 3, the new parallel slope is 3 as well. Okay, let's get in my points. X1 equals to 0, Y1 equals to 3, the parallel slope is 3. That is labeling information. Here's point slope, right? I have a point and I have a slope, so I use point slope. Right, make that substitution. Y1 equals to 3, M equals to 3, X1 equals to 3. Distribute that in. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Plus 3 to both sides. Then simplify. Y equals to 3x minus 6. Notice that the slope here is 3x, is 3. And also the slope here is also 3. Okay? That's how you know. Right? The point here just changes the y-intercept. Next point. Okay? Negative 4 comma 1 and y equals to 2x minus 6. Here is the slope, which is 2. So the new slope will also be 2. Right? Original slope is 2. So the new slope, which is parallel to it, is also going to be equal to 2. Okay? Here's my information. X1 equals to negative 4. Y1 equals to 1. M parallel is equal to 2. Here's your point slope equation. Make the substitution. This becomes 1. M becomes 3. M becomes 2. Right? M becomes 2. X minus negative 4. Okay, this should be a 2 here. Right? This minus the negative 4 just becomes an addition. Right? This should be 2. 2 to here, this becomes 8. Okay? 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 4 is 8. Right? That's slope. Plus 1 to both sides. So this becomes 2x and 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2x is right there. Notice that the slope here matches the slope up here. That's correct because the slopes are the same when it is parallel lines. Okay? This is the last one. 11 equals to negative 5 comma negative 2. This is the point. This is the equation. This is the slope. Right? The slope is the number that is in front of the x. Okay? slope here is negative 1/2, so the new slope is also going to be negative 1/2. Label your information. X1 equals to negative 5, Y1 equals to negative 2, and your slope that is parallel is equal to negative 1/2. Here's your point slope form. Y minus negative 2 equals to negative 1/2 x minus negative 5. Again, I make that substitution. Now I simplify this negative, a subtraction, subtract the negative becomes an addition. So the subtract the negative becomes this addition. Subtract the negative becomes this addition. Good. Distribute in negative 1/2 times x, negative 1/2 x, negative 1/2 times 5 becomes, oh, this should be a negative, right? Because you see how this is negative times here, which is 5/4. Good. So if I subtract 2 to both sides, let me just make sure that's correct. Negative 5/2 subtract 2. Okay, this should have been 9. I got 9/2. Let's just double check the work. Something looks funky. So negative and a negative becomes a positive, right? Negative, subtract the negative becomes a positive. Negative here times a positive becomes a negative. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so my y equals to negative 1/2, which is matched with this equation. There you go. Alright, so these two equations here are parallel because they have the same slope. Good. That is the homework solution for the parallel section of the review sheet.